Hello everyone, welcome you all to the microcontroller class. Today we will be having session 2 of unit 2 assembly language programming. And these are the contents of today's session. Here in this session we are going to learn what do you mean by addressing modes and what are the different types of addressing modes supported by 8051 microcontroller. So first of all we shall define what do you mean by addressing mode. So the definition of addressing mode is that the way in which the address and data are specified in the instruction is called as addressing mode. How we are going to mention the data as well as the address. How to mention the address as well as the data in an instruction. What do you mean by an instruction? Instruction will going to instruct. Instruction is a command which will going to instruct the processor or the device to perform certain operations. That is called as an instruction. So in that instruction, how we are going to write the address or how we are going to write the data, that way of writing or way of specifying this address or the data is called as addressing mode. They are intended to provide more flexibility in specifying operand addresses. Operand address means, for example, if I take some instruction, for example, I will take the instruction like move A, B. Let us assume that A and B are the registers. We have already discussed what is A register and what is B register. Then move is the instruction. What this operation will do, it will going to copy the content of register B. Let us assume that it will going to copy the content of register B into register A. Now, in this operation, we have specified the address of this register A as well as the register B using some mode, using some way. So here operand means these two are called as operands. Whatever the contents we are having in this, it is called as operands. Or the register A and the register B is called as operands, whereas this is called as opcode. Operational code we call. Operational code means which operation we are performing. And these are called as operands. On what data we are performing the operation, they are called as operands. And it provides a variety of fast addressing modes for accessing the internal RAM to facilitate byte operation on small data instruction. It provides variety of it supports different addressing modes for the accessing of the internal RAM. We know that RAM is a data memory where all the data will be stored to facilitate byte operation on small data structure. Here we are going to perform the byte operation. 1 byte means 8-bit operation. We know that 8051 is a 8-bit microcontroller where all the operations will be performed by taking 8-bit of data at a time. ಒಂದ್ಸಲ 8 ಬಿಟ್ಗಳನ್ನ ತಗೊಂಡು ಆಪರೇಷನ್ಗಳನ್ನ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. Arithmetic operation, logical operation, data transfer operation, any other operation. In it will take 8-bit of data at a time. The instruction set provides extensive support for direct bit manipulation in control and logic system that require Boolean processing. The instruction set provides extensive support for direct bit manipulation. Bit manipulation for performing operation on 1 bit in control applications as well as in the logic system that requires the Boolean processing. It means that 8051 supports many instructions which are going to perform the bit operation. Operations means on only 1 bit we are performing the operation. 1 bit means either it can be bit 0 or it can be bit 1. This is called as 1 bit. Single bit operation. Either it can be true, this is called as true, whereas 0 is called as false. True or false. So that is called as Boolean operation. Boolean operation can take only 2 states. One is called as true state, another one is called as false state. And to perform this operation, Boolean or the bit manipulation operation, 8051 provides various instructions. Coming to the types of addressing modes, there are 5 different addressing modes supported by 8051. First one is called as immediate addressing mode. Second one is register addressing mode. And then we have direct, register indirect, and indexed. So these are the 5 addressing modes supported by the 8051. So first of all, we shall take what do you mean by immediate addressing mode. In an immediate addressing mode, the source operand is a constant. the source operand is a constant. For example, if I write one instruction, it consists of three parts. Every instruction mainly it consists of three parts. So the first part is called as opcode. So this opcode will going to tell what operation we need to perform. We call this as opcode. And then we have destination. So this is called as destination, and then we have source. Destination and source. So here, in case of immediate addressing mode, the source operand is a constant. So this is called, so I told you, these two are called as operands. These two are called operands. Operands, whereas this is the opcode. For example, if I write the instruction move a comma b. So now move a comma b, if I write, then move is the opcode. Move is the opcode, whereas register A and B are nothing but the operands. And A is the destination operand we call, whereas B is the source operand. Destination operand and the source operand. So here in immediate addressing mode, the source operand is a constant. The source operand, this is the source operand. This source operand is a constant. The operand comes immediately after the opcode. So these operand, you can observe here, these two are called as operand. These two operands will come immediately after the opcode. This is how the instruction has to be written. This is the sequence we need to perform. This is the rule we need to follow while writing the instruction, for writing opcode as well as for writing the operands. And intermediate data must be preceded by hash symbol. This is the intermediate data, and this data must be preceded by a symbol hash. This hash symbol indicates that this is a immediate data. And this addressing mode can be used to load information into any of the GP register. Any of the GP register means general purpose register. So this addressing mode can be used to load any information. For example, move a comma b means it is loading data from B to A. Whereas here, in case of immediate addressing mode, this addressing mode can be used to load the information to any general purpose registers. We have discussed what we mean by general purpose registers. So different registers are there. So these registers are grouped into different banks from bank 0 to bank 3, whereas each bank contains the registers, 8 registers from R0 to R7. Along with that, we are having some other registers. For example, we can use accumulator A register or the B register as a general purpose register. So coming to the examples, if I use move a comma hash 24, what does it mean? Here the comments are written. So the data 24, so this is the source operand. I told you this is called as opcode, and these two are called as operands. And in the operands again, two fields are there. One is called as destination field. This is destination, whereas this is called as source. So data always moves from source to destination. Remember that data always moves from source to destination. Whereas in the code, we need to write the destination first, and then we need to write the source. So here move a comma hash 24. This hash indicates that this is the immediate number or the immediate code that can be stored into particular register. So move a comma hash 24 means the data 24 will be copied to register A or the accumulator register. Similarly, we have move R3 comma hash 55. Number 55 will be copied to R3. Similarly, we have AAH. See, remember, whenever we are going to write the numbers in hexadecimal, it must be preceded by 0. In the program, if you write the hexadecimal numbers, it must be preceded by 0. And this last H indicates that these numbers are hexadecimal. For example, if I write 24H, then 24 is a hexadecimal. And 55, it is hexadecimal. If you don't write hexadecimal, then it will be taken as a decimal number. If you write H, it is taken as hexadecimal. So here 0 AA is nothing but AA. Okay. Now 0 AAH, now the data AA. So this data AA will be copied into register B. Move P1 comma hash 55. Now the data 55 will be moved to port 1. Similarly, we can move 456AH to the DPTR. We know that DPTR is a 16-bit register. So instead of writing 8 bits, so all these are 8-bit numbers, whereas this is a 16-bit number. You can observe here, these two are 8 bits and these two are 8 bits, 8 plus 8, 16. The 16-bit data will be moved to DPTR. And similarly, DPL, comma 6A and DPH, comma 45. Instead of writing 16-bit at a time, we can split this into two separate 8-bit data. 6A will be taken separately and that will be moved to DPL, and 56 is taken separately, that will be moved to DPH. We know DPTR is a 16-bit register. This can be divided into two 8-bit register. One is called as data pointer low, DPL. Another one is called as data pointer high, DPH. So this is how we can able to use the immediate addressing mode. So in the immediate addressing mode, we need to remember that the immediate data will be moved to a particular general purpose register. And the second type of addressing mode is the register addressing mode. In the register addressing mode, it involves the use of register R0 to R7 to hold the data. As the name itself indicates, register addressing mode. It uses the registers from R0 to R7. So totally 8 registers we can able to use. One of 4 banks is selected at the execution time. We know that the general purpose register from R0 to R7 are grouped in specific bank, in particular banks, from bank 0 to bank 3. Totally 4 banks are there, bank 0 to bank 3, and each bank can contain 8 registers from R0 to R7. So one of the 4 bank is selected. Out of 4 banks, we need to select any one bank by using the third bit and the fourth bit of PSW register. We know the PSW register, program status word. The third bit and the fourth bit of the program status word register decides which bank has been selected. And this mode is code efficient since it eliminates an address byte. Since both the operands are registers here, the execution time is fast and it is efficient. There is no address here. So accessing the memory, always it takes more time as compared to accessing the registers, because registers are very near, very closer to the processor as compared to the memory. Even though the memory is inbuilt in the 8051, accessing register is easy as compared to accessing the memory. And A register, or it is called as accumulator register, register B, DPTR, and any general purpose register. GPR means general purpose registers can also be addressed in this mode. A register, B, DPTR ಅಥವಾ GP ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ general purpose register na use ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. Coming to the example, we can observe that move A, R2. See, this is the opcode and these two are the operands. And we can observe that both the operands are what? Both the operands are register. A is also a register, whereas R2 is also a register. So what this will do? Moving of the data. Moving means copy the content of R2 to accumulator. And the content of R2 remains same after the execution of the code. R2 ನಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಡೇಟಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಏನು ಕಂಟೆಂಟ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಅದೇ ಕಂಟೆಂಟ್ ಅಕ್ಯುಮುಲೇಟರ್ಗೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. That is called as move. Similarly, we have add instruction, which will perform the addition of these two numbers. Content of A will be added with content of R4, and the result is stored in accumulator back. And XCH, that is exchanging of the data between the accumulator and R3. Content of R3 will go to content accumulator and content of accumulator will go to R3. This is called as exchanging. You can observe in all the instruction, the registers are used as operands. And the third addressing mode is direct addressing mode. In direct addressing mode, the operand is specified by 8-bit address field in the instruction. So in the direct addressing mode, one operand will be an 8-bit address. That's why it is called as direct addressing. One direct address has to be used. Only internal data RAM and SFRs can be directly addressed. Address ಯಾವುದನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಅಂದರೆ ಡೇಟಾ ರ್ಯಾಮ್ ಮೆಮೊರಿದು ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ SFRದು ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು in the direct addressing mode. Another major use of direct addressing mode is the stack. ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ನ ಕೂಡ ಈ ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ಸಿಂಗ್ ಮೋಡಲ್ಲಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ ಮೆಮೊರಿ, ವಿ ನೋ ದಟ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ ಮೆಮೊರಿ ಇಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಎ part of RAM memory. Some part of RAM is treated as stack. And the stack memory can also be addressed by using the direct addressing mode. Examples are move R0, 50. Now observe here, this is the opcode move operation, and two operands are there. One is R0, another one is 50. This is the source and this is destination. You can observe destination is a register, R0 register, whereas source is 50H. Now 50H is not a data. Why it is not data? Because it is not preceded by hash symbol. Instead of writing 50H, if I write hash 50H, if I write hash 50H, then this is taken as a data. Hash 50H ಬರೆದ್ರೆ ಇದನ್ನ ಡೇಟಾ ಅಂತ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. If you don't write this hash symbol, then this will be taken as address. ಈ hash symbol ಬರ್ದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, if ಬರೀ 50H ಇದ್ರೆ ಇದನ್ನ address ಅಂತ ಟ್ರೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. See, this is the register, whereas this is the address. So what this instruction will do, whatever the content there in this memory location, that content will be copied to register R0. Now let us assume that this is the memory. This is the memory, and this memory is having address of 50H. In somewhere in the memory location, you should have this address 50H. And this 50H contains the data 116. Let us assume that 16 is the data, 16H, hexadecimal 16. This data is present in this memory location. This is the address, and in this address, what is the data that is presenting? 16H. So after the execution of this instruction, this 16H will go to R0 register, because we have used R0 register here. Content of this memory location 50H, that is nothing but 16, will go to R0. Similarly, we can use move 50, A. Now the content of accumulator is copied to 50H. Accumulator content is copied to this memory location. Or move 0E0H, R2. Copy the content of R2 into accumulator, whereas E0 is the address of the accumulator. I told you we can write the accumulator as a register, or we can write its address. What is the address of the accumulator? E0 is the address of the accumulator. And I told you that whenever you write the hexadecimal number as a starting number, that must be preceded by 0 here, and H stands for hexadecimal. And then we can use push as well as the pop operation. So these two are related to the stack operation. Pushing means storing the data, popping means retrieving the data, taking back the data. Push E0H means content of accumulator is copied to stack memory. Pop 05 means in the stack memory, go to the memory 05, go to the memory location, that is the top of the memory location, and that content will be taken back to the register R5, whereas 05 is the address of the register R5. If I write pop 05, whereas here it is written push 05. Push 05 means take the content of register R5, and that will be copied into stack. You can write pop 05 also. For example, here we have written pop 03. Popping means taking back the data. Take the top content of the stack memory and that copy it to register 03. 03 is the address. We know that 03 is the address of register R3. So the top content of stack will be copied into the register R3. And the next addressing mode is register indirect addressing mode. So here, as the name itself indicate, register indirect addressing mode. It means that the address is indirectly indicated with the help of the register. Now, in this addressing mode, the instruction specifies a register which contains the address of the operand. We are going to use one register where this register does not contain the data. Instead, it contains the address of the operand. In other words, a register is used as a pointer to the data. ಈ ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್, ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಇದು 50 ಅನ್ನೋ ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಇದೆ, 50 ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಡೇಟಾ ಇದೆ. ಈ 50 ಅನ್ನೋ ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ನ ಒಂದು ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಒಳಗಡೆಗೆ ಹಾಕಬಹುದು. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ಇಫ್ ಐ ಯೂಸ್ ದ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ R0, ಲೆಟ್ ಅಸ್ ಅಸ್ಯೂಮ್ ದಟ್ ದ ಕಂಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ R0 is 50H. What I will do, I will store the content data 50H into register R0. Now, instead of using this 50H here, what I can write now, I can write R0 now, because the content of R0 is nothing but 50H now. So this register is used as a pointer. It is pointing to this memory location. You can observe here, this is pointing to this register R0 is pointing to this memory location. Therefore, the register R0 is called as a pointer register. Pointer register we call. Both internal and external RAM can be indirectly addressed. We are addressing the memory location indirectly with the help of R0. Direct addressing mode means directly we write 50, that is called as direct addressing mode. Indirect means the 50 is stored into R0 and this R0 is used as a pointer, that is called as indirect. So using this indirect addressing mode, we can address both internal as well as the external RAM memory locations. Only register R0 and R1 are used for this purpose. So this is very important. Remember that only the register R0 as well as the register R1 can be used to store the address, and they must be preceded by @ symbol, @ of R0, @ of R1. Then it means that this @ symbol indicates that the content of these two registers are the addresses. Advantage of this mode is that it makes accessing of data dynamic rather than static. Dynamic means during the execution of the program, we can quickly access the data. That is called as dynamically accessing the data. So this we can easily again understand once we write some of the codes using register indirect addressing modes. That again we shall see in the further classes. And the limitation of this addressing mode is that only register R0 and register R1 can be used to hold the address. This is the one of the limitation or the disadvantage of using register indirect addressing mode. Now coming to the example, move a comma @ of R0. So what this will do, you take the content of R0, go to that memory location, take that content, and that will be copied to accumulator. For example, I will tell, let us assume that the content of register R0 is nothing but 10H. 10H. So here we have used register R0. And since @ symbol is used here, this 10H is not a data, but it is a address. @ indicates that this is the address. You go to this address. So here we are having memory location. Let us assume that this is the address 10H. This is the address 10H, where in this address the data stored is 1FH. 1FH is the data stored in this memory location. Move a comma @ of R0 means you go to the address pointed by the R0. Content of R0 is 10H. You go to this memory location, 10H memory location, take this data. What is the data available? 1F is the data available. That will be copied to accumulator. So now this 1F will come to accumulator. Therefore, after the execution of this instruction, the content of accumulator is nothing but 1F. Similarly, we can take another example. Move @ of R1 comma B. Now you take the content of B and you store this data into the memory location pointed by the R1. Now shall assume that R1 is the another register which contains the address 11H. Let us assume that 11H is the content of R1. Since @ symbol is used, this is taken as address. So after 10H, we are going to get 11H. Let us assume that this memory location is 11H. 11H. And shall assume that the content of B register is equal to 06H. This is the content of the B register. Now, once you execute this program, once you execute this instruction, then the content of B is what? Always data will move from source to destination. This is source and this is destination. So content of B is 06. This 06 will go to the memory location pointed by R1. R1 is 11H. This is the 11H memory, and to this memory location, this 06 data will come and it will sit here, it will be stored here. So this is how we are in now. Even though the 11H is address, but it is indirectly indicated by the register R1. So that's why it is called as a register indirect addressing mode. And the last type of addressing mode is the indexed addressing mode. For accessing the externally connected RAM or the on-chip ROM, we need 16-bit pointer, that is nothing but the DPTR. ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟರ್ನಲಿ ಹೊರಗಡೆಯಿಂದ ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿರೋ ರ್ಯಾಮ್ ಅಥವಾ ಆನ್ ಚಿಪ್ ರಾಮ್ ಅಂದರೆ 8051 ಮೈಕ್ರೋ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲರ್ ಒಳಗಡೆನೇ ಇರೋ ರಾಮ್ನ ಆ ರಾಮ್ನ ಆಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ ವಿ ನೀಡ್ ಸಮ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟರ್ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ದ DPTR, ಡೇಟಾ ಪಾಯಿಂಟರ್. ಓನ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಮೆಮೊರಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ಆಕ್ಸೆಸ್ಡ್ ವಿತ್ ಇಂಡೆಕ್ಸ್ಡ್ ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ಸಿಂಗ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಇಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಬಿ ರೆಡ್. ಇಂಡೆಕ್ಸ್ಡ್ ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ಸಿಂಗ್ ಮೋಡ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಓನ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಮೆಮೊರಿನ ಆಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಮೆಮೊರಿ is nothing but the ROM memory. ROM memory is the program memory. Only this memory can be accessed using indexed addressing mode. And this addressing mode is intended for reading lookup tables in the program memory. Usually lookup table na read ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. lookup table ಅಂತಂದರೆ we are going to have certain table where the data or some values are already stored. For example, I want to find the square of a number, square of 5. So square of 5 will be stored here. 5 to the power of 0, 5 power 1, 5 power 2, 5 power 3. So these are the constants. And these constants are already stored in the memory location. And every time whenever I am going to access these data, I am going to use this indirect addressing mode. And this predefined table is called as a lookup table. Again, we will understand what you mean by this lookup table once we start the programming. Okay, and a 16-bit base register, either DPTR or the program counter, points to the base of the table and the accumulator is set up with the table entry number. So to access these memory location, we need to take the help of either DPTR data pointer or the program counter. We know that program counter is a pointer to the ROM memory location. Along with the accumulator, we will take the help of the accumulator also, where the accumulator will be used as a index register. And the address of the table entry in the program memory is formed by adding the accumulator data to the base pointer. So how to decide the final address? The actual address of the memory location can be obtained by adding accumulator as well as the base pointer. What are the base pointer? Base pointer may be either DPTR or it may be program counter. For example, if I use move DPTR comma hash 200, what this instruction will do? This is the immediate addressing mode. The number 200 will be copied to DPTR. But here only 3 digits are there, whereas DPTR is a 16-bit register. Either you can write 200 or you can write 0200. Writing 0200 is the same as that of writing 200. 0200 is a 16-bit data. Now this 16-bit data will be copied to DPTR. Even if you simply write hash 200, automatically it will be taken as 0200. That will be stored in DPTR. Then clear A. Clear A means accumulator becomes 0 now. Clearing. Make accumulator is equal to 0. Then move C A comma at the rate of DPTR. Now you take the content of accumulator. What is the content of the accumulator? 0. And take the content of the DPTR. That is nothing but 200. 0 plus 200 is 200. Now the sum of these two is nothing but 200. The sum of these two is nothing but 200. And since we have used @ symbol, it means that this is not a number, this is an address. You go to the memory location 200. For example, this is the 200 memory location. The address of this memory location is 200H. You go to this memory location and take the code. Since we have used move C here, move C stands for, this C stands for code. It means that we are accessing the ROM. I told you that using DPTR and the program counter, we can able to either access RAM or we can able to access ROM. So here this example shows that we are accessing the ROM memory, read only memory. ವೇರ್ ದ ಕೋಡ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ಡ್. ರಾಮ್ ಮೆಮೊರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕೋಡ್ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀವಿ. ಮೂವ್ ಸಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಈ ಮೆಮೊರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಕೋಡ್ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ದಟ್ ಕೋಡ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಟೇಕನ್. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ದ ಕೋಡ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಕೋಡ್. ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಅಂತ ಕೋಡ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಆಪ್ ಕೋಡ್ is nothing but the opcode. You take this opcode add and that will be copied to accumulator register. ಈ add ಅನ್ನ ಕೋಡ್ನ accumulator register ಗೆ ಕಾಪಿ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. and this is there in the location 200H. In the 200H memory location this add instruction will be stored. So that is what this movc will be used. Now in the indexed addressing mode, so the final address is obtained by using this indexing. DPTR is a base register and accumulator is a index register, or instead we can use program counter as a base register. Program counter plus accumulator. I can write at the rate of a plus pc. Take the content of pc program counter, add it to the content of accumulator, then it forms the final address. Go to that address, take the code stored over there and copy it to accumulator register. That is called as movc. So this is how we can able to use the indexed addressing mode. In summary, in this session we have learned what are the different types of addressing mode supported by the 8051 as well as the definition of the addressing mode. Thank you.